All right. Good morning. There is now, Hector. I was ready. Good morning. Good morning. All right. So markets are kind of neutral here this morning. Not on the Nasdaq. Things are popping over there. Starting with the S&Ps, we got last week's high as resistance, of course. That's how we're going to start out. And noticing a little minor rejection of those levels. It's early on, of course. And this low, of course, is prior day's low was our first reference point of support. Not so sure where things are going to go so far. There's some weakness. You can see the 5 minutes trending down. And really don't have any significant support. So we're like in a little trading range here. There is now, Hector. That's YouTube. So for the moment, we got a little trading range here. Last week's high and Friday's low, which kind of leaves us trading this anyway. Really short-term scalps, which probably would lead to getting topped up, I think, at this moment. Yeah, so things are just too close together here. All right, so nothing's moving. Let's go to SPX, which could be good for SPX. Right? Except we got to see, get some indication early on in the first, 5 to 15 minutes. The market wants to take one direction or the other. And I think the Nasdaq futures or Qs are going to give it some guidance since they're up so much to see if they start coming in or not. So SPX, just looking at the quotes up there, of course, we always want to get as far away as possible from the danger. And what I see, just look at that quote, 38.90. There's no juice there. There's big open interest at 38.90, but there is no juice. So to consider that level up there at 38.90, the market would have to go higher and those premiums to begin to pop. So getting to where it could make sense, $38.70, which no damn way I'm going to consider that. Yeah, I'm looking at the same thing now that you just posted, McGraw. I mean, if this market 37.80 down to the downside, yes. So 3,800 has got a big open interest, and you got a gap fill there. So two lines of defense, so to speak. So to go down there, you got the support to lean on. So even if this did come in a lot, we what we do is we look like what's below. So there's premium there. So if it even went lower, it's likely that it's going to bounce back up again off of this area. And so this is your trading range, looking at the intraday charts where there's significant support intraday. And I wouldn't call that significant, but you've got two pivot highs up there. So there is some, and it began to roll over, and it's a little weak this morning. 37.85. Well, kind of a personal choice. You want to get a little closer to it. You know the deal. You get more premium, you get a little more potential put under the collar. It starts coming in because there isn't really any support. But that 3,800, that's a big number, and it's got pretty big open interest. So you know what to do. Those 38.80. If it drops, let's say it starts going down, 38.80 could be a consideration once we get some movement here. So it starts, this starts going to the downside, which, we figure it'll pop up from here, but at least then it's far enough away to this becomes a significant resistance area. So consider that. So the Nasdaq, the Qs are up here, Apple ripping higher, and my red marking here is nothing of significance other than a starting reference point. We got a couple of topping tails up there, so it's been rejected a bit, lower high, and it's getting a little tighter, which you can see happening here on the 5-minute chart. Doesn't mean it can't go higher. So it had a couple of days, well, one day of resting. You've got the bottoming tail bar on Friday, which was just an inside bar. Nonetheless, here's the continuation. Now that we've got that pattern, and this low is far away, but now it's significant since you've got 2 days there at that level. And you can see down below here, it'll drop considerably because it's not supposed to go down there. So for the moment, here's our high. Got support here, and it can create support anywhere in between, which is what it will do if demand is really that strong. So as we look at something subjective as a reference point, being minor support would be around here at 1340, which you can eyeball that, go here to here, 50% or so. And well, that's what we'll be looking for there as reference points in the Qs. We'll see if they initially at all will drop below here and open up the door to something further, which then, yes, spiders already being a little bit weak. Well, now they're positive, but weaker. Maybe this comes down to that level, and then you look at the SPX up above. All right. So kind of a neutral opening here this morning. And the Dow, I wrote about in the letter, it had this new high failure there where it popped above the highs and came back in. Now we've got another trading range, a little bit of a bigger one, where we kind of got this mess going on here. Retest highs, now it's coming down to support. This brings me back to not much of an advantage here looking at the broader markets as to the direction of prices here. Can I use SPX in the letter? This is in the advisory letter. Good levels, yeah. Yeah, I mean, when I do the video, when I do the 4 charts, I use the ETFs so it shows the gaps. But yeah, I know, like maybe a lot of people, associate more with the SPX. It's what's quoted. So sure, I can include that in the letter. Not a big deal. Sure, absolutely. Okay, we'll add that to the video, and we'll not a problem. Okay, so same story here, just a bigger trading range that's been going on, which leads us to, well, if it breaks below here, which is not supposed to do because it's in an uptrend, we'll just be dragging this down here to the next level at the 50 MA if it breaks below. So this is supposed to hold in an uptrend, and buyers are supposed to show up here and at some point move up to make new all-time highs. The weekly chart is still, just chopping around, which is still bullish, but there's obviously this hesitancy about whether the markets want to move higher at this time or not. Russell, we know, is weakening a bit. Came roaring back. It was the weakest, and then as it hit this support, amazingly, right? You look to the left, I could make a whole another service out of trend lines and fib numbers and VWAPs and show how all of them, maybe if they lined up here. look at the move that happened after all of that. Or you could just look to the left and see. Came down to support where buyers were, and now it's up at resistance where it was sellers were before, and it backs off. And what we have, again, coming back to what I've talked about, is a trading range. So everywhere we look, we got trading ranges of different variances or degrees starting out here. Bonds starting to stabilize here, but the same old story, right? Had the big wide range bar down, created the void. It created resistance, pivot high. There's going to be sellers up here. So now once we have a new reference point, right? Once a void has been created, we begin to see, lo and behold, another trading range developing. But now this is up at resistance, and we'll see if sellers want to show up there or whether they can get through it. Right? So there's the high. So no advantage there. And crude oil. This should get interesting here. With refrain from even using the word president, but so he is. Joe Biden now stops the Keystone Pipeline and puts us in a position of being dependent again, oil from outside the U.S. And Canada's pissed off in my language, but see if oil here has any significant decline or whether the buyers continue to show up here, maybe at the rising 20 or down here. But a move down toward this level again is not going to be good for what has been a turnaround sector, in November, which was oil stocks, which have been huge laggards. And now, oil getting up to the level that it has, the energy sector potentially could be a leader this year, same as financials. And financials, with the yield curve steepening and where it is, they should find buyers on any pullback. So still positive there. Oil's questionable. And gold, I think if it gets above here, it could be a buyer. And you got this downside shake, wide range bar up. This pulled back a bit, but it's consolidating. It came down hard, no doubt, but it's repairing the damage. And what I wrote in the letter, and I kind of made a little drawing there on the gold ETF, was potentially for a head and shoulders type of a bottom here. But it's got to get above that high. Well, so far, it's just building a little shelf here. So that's bullish price action. And we get a move going back up again, as well as silver. Some came down real hard, nasty. And this no doubt makes us think this is going lower. And this is the power of bar by bar analysis. Besides just guiding along the way, it forces you, unless you got your head in the sand, it forces you to recognize change. Now, that being said, bar by bar analysis is only one concept. But you look to the left, is that support? You got new pivots being formed. You got a downside shakeout here and now beginning to form a higher low. And if it can get through here, that's a buy. So we'll see how it unfolds. Lastly, transports came down, leaving this squared top up here. Still in an uptrend and near all-time highs. So finishing up here this morning, pretty much everywhere we look, prices are caught between their respective support and resistance areas, some wider than others. And we're going to need a little more information to get more confident, let's say, in the upside for the moment. So the upside has to be what we believe is going to play out, since Well, most of what we looked at was in uptrends. So we shall wait and see how it unfolds. You, Dan.
All right, happy Monday. Yeah, when I woke up today and down, Nasdaq up 130, and then I'm seeing so many stocks, things, tech, these EVs, these SPACs. It's just the feeling of this speculative pent up is, Greg, I don't know about you, but maybe I'm not in the whole market, but there's just individual signs. I'm looking at so many of these stocks we'll go through that are just incredibly extended and gapping up. And it's just feels like, the tech bubble. There was even an article in today's Wall Street Journal comparing it to that with all this speculation going on. And even the chairman of Goldman came on today, and he was talking about that too, about these SPACs. He was like, you better do your own diligence. I mean, he made a great point saying, I'm saying, when you do an IPO, you got the prime broker doing a ton of due diligence. When you got these SPACs, they're just kind of being created in the dark of the night. Um, in fact, we had a subscriber come up to Greg and me saying, you know what, you guys should go public right now in this SPAC. And I said, let me think about it. All right, so our opens are fine. We have in the weekly options trader, we have 5 opens. They're all bull put credit spreads except for Square. We have a call spread, the 240. So it's gapping up a little bit here, but still 16 bucks out of the money. And we actually have a put spread on his cousin, which is PayPal. And we have 20 open positions in the swing letter, and 100% of them are long. 100%. So when you hear me complaining about fundamentals and I can't believe this market strength, we're, we're trading exactly what we teach. We got 20 longs on. But look at Q's here gapping up. I mean, Apple, look at this craziness. Just gapping up to all-time highs. We had this in the weekend letter, or whatever day it was. I guess not weekend because this was a Wednesday. But I posted this as both a directional and a put spread, and the stupid gap messed it up. And I remember the market was falling on Thursday, and I was saying in the green room over and over and over again, this is my most bullish setup today. And I just didn't chase it because of the broader market. And, what can I say? Yeah, CBAT, um, oh man. That was a long in the weekend letter as a core long over Friday's high. We have short put spreads open. So now I need to cancel this for excessive gap. So let me send out a telegram. See that. Yeah, and I remember one of you asked me about that on Friday afternoon, saying, "Hey Dan, I know we're in a put spread, but is this a swing trade also?" And I said, "Absolutely it is." And I said I was going to put it in the weekend letter, which I did. Uh, a stupid gap is messing us up. Thursday, okay. All right. XPEV, yeah, that's on my list. These EVs, we'll go through them again today. We'll go through the EVs, the batteries. We'll go through all that. But yeah, XPEB looks good. Let me put it on a 5-minute chart. Neo, Jemiah looks good. Yeah, the sector is rocking and rolling. Yeah, that I had to look up the news because I had to, when I saw the size of the gap up today, I thought maybe that it was a buyout. So I went to Google Finance and it just says they got a massive short squeeze on. So let's take a look at that. EJ, yeah, KMB I know was pre-market. Are those other two pre-market? KMB 134, it just trades like a dog. Maybe 30-minute high. Installed 39.44, no pattern. Boot. It's too extended for me. I like things near support. Look at this gap after this little 180 reversal. That was your no-brainer entry, folks. AMC, yeah, I got all these Austin on my list here. AMC's, the movie theater, they secured some financing. BBBY, I don't know. I think they got an upgrade. I don't know what other news was, but that's a crazy move. I don't know what the news is on BlackBerry, but the something something day was this igniting bar. This is what I mean. Look, I mean, this is exactly what I'm saying about what is going on with some of this speculation. Let's see, Thomas is asking about Beyond. Yep, that's on my list. We talked about it Friday. Over Friday's high, not crazy about it as a directional unless it went sideways a lot more, then it'd be a reverse head and shoulders, but sure. A put spread idea, BE, SYX. BE, it's sloppy consolidation, but all-time highs over Friday's high is fine. SYX. Let's see those. You see, whenever you see spots like that, I immediately look at my volume. I personally don't trade under even longer term. I don't trade under 100,000. Prefer 300 minimum, but it's a strong uptrend. Looks higher. Hey John, tell me for what? For what? Ron Adler, your drop down, please. Ron's asking about LAZR. Yeah, no, I said I liked it. You must have just joined, Ron. Yeah, I like Lazar. I put it in a window. But remember, I like the ones coming from support. Jemiah was rocking and rolling on Friday. I was hoping we'd get a 1, 2, 3. Pelletier rocking on Friday. Jake, I mean, it's sloppy. It's just not my wheelhouse. Oh. Today I was asking about JD. Gapping up to 99. It's very, very, very sloppy. So it's not a tier one. It's gapping up over $4. So I have no idea what to do with that. Remember, I personally like the ones that are gapping just over resistance. Let me continue with my list here. BVPR gapping up to $18. That I don't know the news. Is that another? That just feels like it's SPACs. It's SPAC. It's either EV or SPAC. Marijuana is taking a break. We are for Tilray. That's fine. We got a covered call. Well, actually, we did not look into the covered call. I'll look to do that today, actually. Um, ACB we're still in, stopped Friday's low. That one had a deep retracement, so not crazy about that one as much. And we're also Michael Jackson, the sector. This looks great. We're in this core long. Oh, wow, that's quite a haircut. Well, maybe 30-minute high, but it's not my wheelhouse. It's just trades way too sloppy. I got no interest in that. All right, Josiah. That's a SPAC. I mean, look at this. Look, it's here in a coma. Now it's gapping up. That's a SPAC. I got with 99% certainty. Redfin. This could be a monster W top. So if it can take out Friday's low, let's sell a call spread on that, McGraw. Let's see, yeah, laser looks fantastic. It looks fit. Let's see, this is close to support. This one I like. Let's buy 5-minute high. This one looks great. I just personally don't trade in the first 5 minutes, but this is a good gapper. Now, since I think it has a lot of room, I think it can go to 45. I'm going to give it a big stop here under 29.50. No, I didn't check earnings.
Lulu turning up. Earnings March, it's okay. Coming out of a base. Lou, not Lou, whatever that is. Lufax Holdings.
Symbol?
LU. Financial.
And put
It's going to be on a
spread.
put spread, but
Yeah, it's less. Wow, let's look. Here's another speculative frenzy. Look at the move on this stock. Doubled in 2 weeks and it gaps up. But it was a bullish end of day base and it's a bullish pre-market. So there's no reason to short it right now. But I mean, look, what is going on under the hood for these things to be ripping?